A very warm welcome to you. Thanks for joining us.
On the programme this Friday evening.
A man from Blackburn whose parents were killed in the Air India disaster fears their graves may contain the bodies of someone else.
We just left everything to our God now, because I don't even look at the graves, because I don't know who they are.
Placed under arrest on suspicion of rape and controlling coercive behaviour.
An abuser apprehended and now jailed for 15 years. Tonight, survivor Ellie speaks out to encourage others to speak up.
Introducing Gustafson, the Liverpool band formed in lockdown who counts Sue Johnston amongst their fans.
And Peter's big day out in London. Caroline joins the Bolton funny man as he announces his final shows of his record-breaking tour.
Well, first tonight, a man from Blackburn whose parents were killed in the Air India disaster has told ITV News he fears their graves may contain the bodies of someone else.
Adam and Hasina Taju were among 53 British passengers who died after their flight from Ahmedabad to Gatwick crashed just seconds after takeoff in June this year. Now their grieving son Altaf told us how he's been left traumatised by the way the aftermath of the disaster has been handled. Our correspondent Sejal Karia has this special report.
They were just amazing parents to us. We're still in shock. We're still grieving.
Altaf is haunted, not just by the loss of his loved ones, but by the events surrounding their deaths. He lost his mother and father, Adam and Hasina Taju, and his brother-in-law, also called Altaf Hussain, who were among 53 British passengers killed in the Air India crash in Ahmedabad in June. Altaf's grief is now bound up in a question no family should ever have to ask. When he laid his parents to rest in India, did he in fact bury the wrong bodies?
Is it our loved ones that we buried? We need answers. Where are they? My uncle rings me on Sundays. He used to show me the graves of my mum and dad. I've told him not to because I don't know who I'm praying to. We now sit at home and just pray to God that just make them rest in peace. We just left everything to our God now because I don't even look at the graves because I don't know who they are.
You don't know if your parents are in the graves?
No.
Altaf's suspicions grew after a series of events, both in India and here in the UK. His parents' belongings were never returned, yet their items appeared on social media in the aftermath of the crash.
What they found was my dad's wallet with pound notes in them, and he's flicking it up and you can clearly see my dad's driving licence. And then there was someone else holding some jewellery up, and it was clearly identified by my sisters, and they confirmed that it was my mum's jewellery.
What he eventually received were possessions Indian authorities said belonged to his mother, contained in a plastic bag marked only with the flight number on the day of her funeral.
We opened it up and there was a male's tracksuit bottom, all burnt, holes in it. My mother does not wear tracksuit bottoms.
The family were also prevented from opening the coffins. And then came a revelation in the UK. Coroners later found a small fragment of his mother's remains mixed with those of another repatriated British victim.
They found a small trace of a tooth. My DNA matched. That was my mother's tooth. I was traumatised when I heard that news. I didn't know how to tell my sisters.
Culturally and religiously, where does this leave you?
We bury in our religions. We have to bury. Where other religions, they cremate. And thinking of what happened, my parents could have been cremated.
For Altaf, the pain has been compounded by a lack of answers and of accountability. He is one of 40 British families who've written to the Foreign Office asking for help. A letter sent in August, there's still been no substantive reply.
The families have given us harrowing accounts of the lack of support from the British government. In their darkest hours, in their time of need, they felt abandoned.
Has anyone from the British government expressed their condolences to you and your family?
Nothing. No, nothing whatsoever.
What's your message to the government tonight?
We need a closure. We need to find out whose body was given to who. Is it our loved ones? They failed, 100%.
ITV News was allowed to accompany Altaf's family in India as they lovingly tended to the graves, even though they're now unsure who is actually buried there.
Sujal Karia with that report. Well, ITV News contacted the Ministry for External Affairs in India for a comment, and we're yet to receive a response.
Yeah, we also contacted the Foreign Office, who told us our thoughts remain with all the families and loved ones of the victims in this tragic accident.
Their statement went on to say the Foreign Office continues to provide support, including dedicated consular caseworkers to each family who requests our support, and remain in contact with the Indian authorities.
There will be more on that report and the rest of the day's national and international stories on the evening news with Geraint after this programme.
Well, next tonight, the woman sharing her story of domestic abuse to inspire others to speak up and bring those responsible to justice.
Yes, Ellie Colton from Manchester says she just became a yes person to try to stop the mental, emotional and physical abuse at the hands of her former partner.
Luke Cartwright, who's from Denton, was jailed in September for 15 years. He'd been found guilty of 7 sexual offences, including rape and coercive control against 2 women.
In a moment, we'll hear from the detective leading the fight against domestic abuse at Greater Manchester Police.
But first, Ellie shared her story with our correspondent, Rob Smith.
She's a light in the dark for those who've survived domestic abuse. Ellie Colton from Manchester says she's speaking out to help others speak up.
OK, so at this moment in time I'm placing you under arrest on suspicion of rape and controlling coercive behaviour.
When justice caught up with her abusive, controlling ex, he showed no remorse. Luke Cartwright, who's 22 and from Denton, demanded to know where Ellie was, what she was doing, who she was with, what she was saying, what she was texting. Within months of meeting him, the mental, emotional and physical abuse, in her words, skyrocketed.
Oh God, I turned into a person that I never thought I'd be. I was always one of them, I won't take grief off anyone, I always spoke my mind, and he just turned me into that yes person. Yeah, we're okay, yeah, that's fine. If I said something he didn't like, I was getting a slap for it. He just didn't have a boundary or anything. There was no line of, you're not crossing this.
To the point where he raped you?
Yeah, more than once. And it was like he was proud of it. Do you know what I mean? And he'd said on the messages, she said no, and I carried on anyway. And then there was another message that they found that I didn't know about. It basically said on it, after 5 no's, I stopped listening and carried on.
If we look at the relationship as starting in November 2021, how long before that had you met Ellie?
No comment.
Cartwright had no words for police, unlike the barrage of manipulative words he had for Ellie. Detectives who investigated his crimes want victims of abusers to know help's there.
They will be believed. So a particular feature of Ellie's one was that there was a lapse in time from when the last incident occurred to when she actually reported it, a matter of a few months. However, the officer that spoke to her and had that first point of contact did an absolutely fantastic job in relaying to her that not only would she be believed, but she'd be treated with compassion and with empathy and with dignity. And from that place, we'd be able to then take it forward.
For Ellie, waiving her legal right to anonymity today truly matters.
Why do you feel it's so important to speak out and to be seen speaking out?
Because not enough people do. Like, you know, I had so many messages afterwards about it all, of girls who have been through similar things and, you know, are going through the court process and are really scared. And it was so nice to be able to help other people, because it's not embarrassing. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Like, it's nothing that you should blame yourself for.
Yeah, and thanks so much to Ellie for sharing her story with us.
Yeah, earlier I was joined by Detective Superintendent Jen Tattersall, who leads on domestic abuse at GMP. I began by getting her reaction to Ellie sharing her story with us.
It's really important because domestic abuse has a really significant impact on victims. It's often not necessarily an isolated incident, and we recognise that actually when they do report it to the police, it is unlikely to be the first time that they've experienced domestic abuse. So we really need to make sure that we have the right response, but we need people to report it to us because it's really important for us to know about what is happening to them as victims so that we can respond positively and proactively against the perpetrators.
There are different forms of abuse, aren't there? And if we talk about something like coercive control, do you have a concern that some people are unaware of what behaviour constitutes something like coercive control, for example?
Yes, absolutely. Controlling and coercive behaviour is a really challenging area for us to detect, for us to recognise as police, but also, more importantly, for victims. It often creeps up on them. Little subtleties become more and more apparent, and the cumulative effect of controlling coercive behaviour can often go unnoticed.
And on the subject of domestic abuse protection orders, you've been trialling this. Just explain to our viewers how it works.
There's a number of things that we can put in those orders to protect people from potential harm. It might be non-contact, and usually is, so that they're not allowed to contact and harass victims directly and indirectly. They're often not allowed to attend certain locations, so for example where a victim might work or live, and they're not necessarily allowed to contact other people that may be associated with them, which is a real positive.
And more than 500 have been handed out so far. Just finally, Detective Superintendent, I mean, what would your message be to one of our viewers who is a victim of domestic abuse?
I would say that any victims that are subject to domestic abuse or that do have concerns, you know, there's lots of places that you can report. You can report it to Greater Manchester Police. There's lots of avenues in which they can do that. They can also report to partner agencies. So we've got Greater Manchester Domestic Abuse Helpline. We've got End the Fear. We've also got all sorts of the national helplines that people can get advice and support from. And also, if you've got a concern but you're just not quite sure what it is, there's a really good sort of process in place, which is the Clare's Law process, so the Domestic Violence Disclosure Scheme. If victims do have concerns, but they just can't quite put a finger on it, you know, some of those subtle signs that I was talking about before, you can put a request in, you can see what you know, the history of the person that you are in a relationship with is. And I encourage people to be proactive in that because if there are concerns, it's much better to try and address those earlier rather than later.
Detective Superintendent Jen Tattersall, many thanks indeed for your time. Thank you.
Well, if you've been affected by any of the issues raised in that report, you can head to our website where you'll find links to help and support. That's at itv.com/Granada. Well, next, and a committee advising the government has said prostate cancer screening should not be made available for the vast majority of men in the UK.
It's estimated that almost 5,000 men a year in the northwest are diagnosed with prostate cancer, and almost 30% of those diagnosed here die from it. Today's decision has come as a bitter blow for many campaigners.
I'm devastated by the news. I think it condemns thousands and thousands of men to an early death. I think we should at the very least have been seeing a decision that made sure that the men at most risk were tested. And instead we're only seeing men with a BRCA mutation being tested, and that's about 30,000 men. So a very, very minuscule proportion of the population.
Yeah, and you may remember Tony came in to speak to us about this issue on Monday, and his campaign for national screening continues.
Next, the Liverpool band set up in lockdown who are attracting some big star names.
Yeah, actor Andrew Gower, who's been in Black Mirror and Outlander, and his boyhood friend James Webster set up Gustafson in their 30s.
They've been chatting to Elaine Wilcox. They are fierce football rivals. One's a blue, the others are red, but they share a love of music and film.
The Jacaranda, we recreate the waves like the Beatles with Frida and the band.
Andrew Gower was just 15 when he wrote his first songs at the Jacaranda. On set with Sue Johnston, she said she was a regular at the club at the time of the Beatles and agreed to star in their debut single.
Sue Johnson, the Queen of Liverpool. She's such an advocate for the city, for music. She had a membership to the Cavern Club, which she showed us.
As well, to be able to play here was just like phenomenal.
We're at the Jacaranda. We recreate the waves like the Beatles with Frida and the band.
It was quite brave of you two in your 30s to set up a band.
What a stupid thing to do.
How tough is it for you guys to make a living out of music?
A lot of the money that we make as a band goes back into the band so we can finance the studio.
And the fundamental thing with Gustafson is we're songwriters, we write stories.
A pocket full of beggars in the emptiness of Queens. It was Brooklyn at nighttime, the darkest I have been.
When we see another brilliant film and song on Broadway, it's like a throwback time, isn't it?
It's a throwback to the music we grew up with. We want to bridge the world between music and film even more. So, you know, if anybody's watching this, any great Northwest actors, directors, writers, give us a shout. Eh?
But like the snow in New York, you took me by surprise in New York and opened my eyes to this underground world. You're my New York girl.
So you two grew up together, but you draw a line on football.
He is passionate about Liverpool, I'll give him that. I'm passionate about Everton.
You don't play on match days or derby days?
No.
That's it, no.
We don't, unless Paul McCartney comes calling.
Well, there you go, yeah.
And then we'll flip a coin.
Any of the squad musical? Would you invite them on stage?
Leighton Baines went away with England and he had his guitar on his shoulder.
Might be moved on for Leighton Baines.
Yeah, no. I think the loyalty might be questioned.
And I can dance to the algorithm, and I can groove with the lens in my eye.
Tell us about Gustafson.
My Swedish grandmother, she came to Liverpool, probably partied here, who knows. We wanted to honour her.
And I looked on AI and no mention of your Swedish grandmother.
No, well, you know.
Which is quite telling given your latest song.
Dance to the Algorithm is about how we consume music in 2025.
Kind of wanted to flip the narrative on its head and, you know, promote quite an upbeat track.
You move to the umbrella of the early manufactured style.
Next step for the band, a tour of their EP. We'll be seeing a lot more of Gustafson and their beautiful films.
Just brilliant, aren't they? Right, time for sport now. And not only is David here, but we've also been joined by some very special guests.
Yeah, that's right. We have, drumroll please, the newly crowned world's strongest teen in the building, everyone. Caitlin McCardle. We're going to be hearing from Caitlin and also her coach David in a moment. We're also going to be seeing Caitlin in action as well. That's going to be something to look forward to. But first of all, we'll just get through the rest of the day's sports news. And Manchester United's new stadium could be one of the host venues for the Women's World Cup in 2035. The proposed 100,000 capacity ground is one of 22 venues to be part of a joint bid by England, Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland. Manchester City's Etihad Stadium and Everton's Hill Dickinson Stadium are also on the list to host games. Well, there are important fixtures across the Premier League and Football League this weekend. After 9 defeats in 12, Liverpool head to West Ham on Sunday. With games against Sunderland and Leeds coming up, the pressure is on Arne Slot and his team to rediscover the winning formula.
People are very focused and correctly about the parts we don't play well, but there are definitely large parts of the games where we do play well and where we do create a lot of chances, and we tend to forget to reward ourselves in those moments, and every small mistake or small error immediately leads to us conceding a goal, and that is a very bad cocktail to have.
Fans may have been on the cocktails, beers or any other tipple of choice after a dramatic 2-1 win against Grimsby in League Two. Christian Daniels was the toast of the town after scoring a 96th-minute winner against his former club.
Getting that winning feeling. FOW, sponsor of the Granada Sport Report.
Now to the incredible 18-year-old from St Helens who has just been crowned the world's strongest teen. We first met Caitlin McCardle a few weeks ago when she was preparing for the World Strongman Championships in Texas. Delighted to say that Caitlin went over there, absolutely smashed it, beat all her opponents, came back not only with a title but also a whopping medal as well. Caitlin, first of all, what does it mean to have that medal around your neck?
Absolutely everything. I'm so happy. It doesn't even feel real. It hasn't sunk in yet.
And you get the title of World's Strongest Teen. How does that sound and what does that mean to you?
It sounds insane. I only started a year ago, and to be crowned that, it's amazing, absolutely amazing.
We can see you in action, Caitlin. Just tell us what you had to do to win this title.
So I had to do a log ladder, which was, I think it started at 45 kilos onto 50 and then onto 61 kilos. But the other two I didn't end up getting to. Just wanted to save my energy. And then I had a deadlift ladder, which started at 93, 111, and then 134 kilos.
I mean, you say it quite blasé, but that's an incredible amount of weight, isn't it? I mean, the strongman competition has also helped you outside of the sport as well. It's been a real boost to your confidence. Just tell us a little bit about that.
My confidence has come leaps and bounds. If you asked me to be here a year ago speaking to you guys, I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd be too nervous, but no.
It's a girl, aren't you?
Whole new person,
She really is. She's flourished throughout the last 12 months and growing her confidence, and even just people skills, talking to different people, meeting new people, going to America and seeing the Mitchell Hooper and Eddie Hall and that. She was so confident walking over to them where 12 months ago she wouldn't even look at me.
No, I was scared of him.
And David, how was it for you when she walked in just over 12 months ago? I mean, as a coach, when you see someone walking in with no experience but has such talent.
Yeah, well, first of all, she walked in, didn't look at me, head down. Her mum came to the session with her. She just wants to lose, a little bit of weight, get a little bit fitter. Having previously told she wasn't good enough in a World Rugby club. And she's come on, her first ever session, we did a kind of deadlift called the trap bar deadlift. She's done 95 kilograms with no gym experience at all. I'm stood there like, Caitlin, this is pretty good, this is really good. She's like, is it? Yeah, is that okay?
I had no clue at all.
Yeah, and then obviously she should really this time still be learning technique and skill, but she's completely excelled through all that. I think she's done a
And we're going to see some of that skill now, because we're going to jump in there. Caitlin, we're just going to get you, because we have the bar there over that you can go. David, while she gets ready, we'll give her a bit of time just to get the belt on and get ready. Just explain to us, what is this? And what is she lifting?
So this is a log clean and press to a normal gym. It's kind of like a barbell clean and press, except the big size of the log. You've got to roll it up your body, lean back, struggle with all the lights in your face and somehow get it above your head. Yeah. So this is Caitlin's probably her favourite event, which she's going to do really good to show you now with no warm-ups.
And this is just a warm-up, and this is 50 Ks as well,
This is 51 kilos, the actual piece of kit, and Caitlin's best is 70 kilograms.
Do you know what? It's kind of over to you, Caitlin. This is just do your thing. Oh.
Wow. Too easy.
Okay, we're going to let you into a little bit because we tried to lift that as well a bit earlier. I struggled hopelessly. Come on, you got a little bit better. But Caitlin, that is just incredible. Come back and sit with us now, Caitlin. Congrats. That was exceptional. So, I mean, just briefly, Caitlin, how are you going to be celebrating then? Have you got more titles in sight as well?
I would love in the future to go to the likes of Giants Live, Rogue, and I'm hoping to hopefully win England's Strongest, Europe's Strongest, because they don't have team sections yet.
Lovely.
But yeah.
Caitlin, and I'm sure you're going to win all those as well. But so, thank you so much to you and to David for joining us today. Well done again.
Thank you.
David, thank you. What a superstar.
Absolutely. Now, believe it or not, but Peter Kay has now been entertaining us for 3 decades with his stand-up popular shows like Phoenix Nights and Car Share.
And it seems that we entertain him too. I think we may have found Granada's biggest fan.
Our entertainment correspondent Caroline Whitmore joined him for a day out in London as he shared a very special announcement.
Peter Kay, you're out of Bolton.
Yeah, I know, but I'll be leaving soon. I won't be in London long.
You're in that there London.
I know, I'll be back. Honestly, it's not my scene. I will be back. I will be heading back to Wigan North Western shortly. I'm on this morning.
This morning?
Yeah.
Which, when this runs, will actually be yesterday, but whatever.
Yeah, I'll be on this morning yesterday.
This is a 4-year tour that is coming to an end. All the shows next year, all the profits are going to 12 charities, aren't they?
Yes, 12 cancer charities. I really do care, but I just can't memorise all 12. I think it's an age thing. Children with cancer, Teenage Cancer Trust, Kidney Cancer UK, Blood Cancer UK, Bowel Cancer UK, Prostate Cancer UK, DKMS, Ovarian Cancer Action, Pancreatic Cancer UK, Anthony Nolan, the Brain Tumour Charity, Breast Cancer UK. You don't even have to like me. This is what I keep saying. Support the charities if you can. It's a night out because it's win-win.
It's
you know
a win-win.
What I mean? And I keep saying.
And you're quite funny.
Well, somebody will know someone who's had one of those cancers.
My mum and dad slept over last night.
Did they?
They'd gone to a funeral in Bollington, so they were near. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, well.
They were near. And
Every cloud.
Every cloud.
Go on.
And my dad's got multiple myeloma, so he was over the moon.
Oh.
That blood cancer was on there. Sometimes that gets forgotten. What are you thinking of our Katie?
Katie, can I just... And Gamal, I'm sorry I've not come in. I am. But Caroline wanted to come to London and do this here. I think she just wanted a day out. I think she's going to go out shops now. But I will come in and see you because I'd love to meet you. Katie's lovely and Gamal is... You know, you're getting around Gamal, aren't you? If you're not here, you're doing 6:30 news. Across the road through the window where you can see the Lowry Theatre, me and my family went watching a show a few weeks back and we pulled our car up and we went home and we watched it on the catch-up. You could see us all getting out at back of you two. Who needs this showbiz life when you're looking at yourself getting out of a car on the back of shot and going hard reports?
All the profits. All the profits. Yeah. You're saying it like I'm scamming someone, Ben. Like, we're not on Watchdog now, calm down.
You know what it reminded me of when he did Lunchtime Live? I'm worried about Paul's going to...
Watch yourself, Paul.
And he's from Bolton.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, aye.
You want to lift home? You want to lift home?
We didn't talk about your book either, so it's Peter Kay's diary.
Yeah, there's a book out now, The Pounding Out the Age, if you want that.
Anything else?
No, go on.
Right.
Where's Chris Steele and his vaginal dryness? And the adrenaline kicks in. You can't help but mess about and a bit like being a bit naughty.
Christmas is coming up. What's Susan getting you? What does people buy for Peter Kay?
Christmas is about being together. It's about being together and being happy. Birthdays are for presents. Happy Christmas, everybody. Happy Christmas, Gamal, and happy Christmas, Katie. I will come in and see you. I will now, I promise. I would love to.
We're holding you to that now, you know.
Oh, I will do. Maybe we could watch somebody through the window getting in their car at the back of shop and they could wait. I was very giddy about that, you know. Are you coming in?
No, I'm going to let you go.
I hope people can come out and support these cancer ones now.
Thank you.
You're
Have a good one.
And you.
Pleasure.
Oh, we can go now.
I'm starstruck. Here's Emma with the weather.
Mum, wet wipes, toilet or bin?
Bin. Why?
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Hello there, very good evening to you. It's been a blustery old day today, you don't need me to tell you that, with quite a few showers around and some rain, a little bit of winteriness thrown into the mix. Even Sooty and Toby's tufts are blowing in the breeze here, and as we head into the weekend, it's certainly a weekend of two halves, and even at this juncture, there's a lot of uncertainty over Saturday, even with such short lead time. However, at the moment, one thing we are certain of, it's going to be a very wet and windy day, but totally different on Sunday, cooler, drier and brighter. And it's all down to this low pressure system to the southwest, which will track northeastwards. There are three potentially different tracks that this could take, and I'll come to that in just a moment. But first of all, overnight tonight, largely going to be dry. These strong gusts at the coast and across the Isle of Man will start to ease back, and by tomorrow morning it's going to be light winds wherever you are. As I say, mostly dry, a lot of cloud around. Patchy frost depends on where the cloud breaks, especially further to the north there, but I think any spots you get will be very isolated. And you can see that that low pressure system starts to show its hand with some cloud and rain from the southwest by the time we get through to Saturday morning. Now, there's just over 50% confidence that this is the most likely track that low is going to take. The heaviest rain, the strongest winds to the northwest of that. So just over 50% for that. Around 30% likelihood of this happening, the low deepening and moving further north, in which case there'll be a lot of heavy rain, maybe some snow to higher and lower levels. And the third scenario is that it goes away into Europe, and that's the least likely. But we think this is what's going to happen tomorrow. So very wet, feeling cold and miserable into the evening and overnight period. That does all move away, however. We're expecting a hard frost into Sunday morning. That's it. Bye-bye.
Cleaned up well.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada Weather.
Have a lovely weekend. We will see you on the other side. Bye-bye.
Bye.